And Robbie, you're not on the studio Wi-Fi, are you?
I'm on some Wi-Fi. I'll turn it off.
Yeah, just make sure you're not on the studio Wi-Fi because I need the bandwidth. You might be on the house Wi-Fi.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I switched to LT.
Okay, thanks, bro.
That is what I did as well.
Thank you. Although you probably wouldn't even be on mine because it's all secure. You'd have to have passwords and have been here before and
maybe
to sign them. Maybe you have. You might have.
Maybe I've been stalking. Maybe I've been stalking you this whole time.
I thought I saw you sneaking out a window the other night, little bastard.
Got to get that insider info somehow.
That's right, buddy. Ryan, I just had to send you a really quick note. I'm so impressed with the bug slide product I got from you during the 2016 holidays. Just had a chance to use it extensively the last few weeks. Just used up the 4-ounce bottle and will order more. Love this stuff. And believe me, the way I like to keep my bike looking new. I've tried them all. Bug Slide so far is the winner. It makes detailing my bike great again. Michael Jordan. That's how long I save emails. We have so many emails and I save them all and voicemails. You just never know. Some we'll get to and some we won't. Now, we have a sense of humor around here at Law Abiding Biker Media. We don't take ourselves too seriously, although we're kind of Harley-centric. We love all motorcycles, all riders, but we are kind of Harley-centric. So because we can tease ourselves, I thought this would be an appropriate start.
So you got yourself a Harley-Davidson, huh? That's cute. I remember my first beer. Now, don't get me wrong. Harley-Davidson is probably the perfect machine. If you want to suck off all your friends and get unicorn tattoos about 6 inches above your asshole. But if you're looking for a machine that pulls pussy, squalls tires, runs like a screaming goddamn banshee, you want yourself a Kawasaki Vulcan. See that motor right there? It's 49,000 cc's of pure goddamn American muscle. You see folks that ride Vulcans, we twist throttles, not dicks. You see that tire right there? Damn near bald. Been on there 6 minutes. And hadn't even cranked the motherfucker. It's a proven fact that if you ride a Vulcan, you in fact yourself can make Linda Lovelace gag. So if you're looking for something that barely runs, good for mounting dildos on the seat to ride in gay parades, get yourself a Harley. But if you're looking for a machine guaranteed to knock your wife and your girlfriend up, look no further, folks. Get yourself a Kawasaki Vulcan. Enjoy your sports, man. You got no fucking money.
I thought you guys would have freaking appreciated it. I have no idea where I came across that video, dude, but the guy's got like 200 subscribers. And,
dude. Yeah. I don't care who you are. That's good info.
That's just good info, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's good info.
Starting it out right. Got a special guest in the studio. Oh, yeah. What should we do here? Oh, yeah. Once you've had Rick Rack, you'll never go back. The ultimate motorcycle luggage rack solution. Forget those messy straps and bungee cords. Go strapless with a Rick Rack quick attach luggage system and quality bag. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Don't be caught like Fuente and have your chaps scattered across the highway in Canada.
True that, dude. True that. Hey, Bikeaholics, 03D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. These guys ride and support riders just like you. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of 03D products. And now, straight from the Law Abiding Biker Media Studio,
out of sunny Yakima, Washington,
we bring you another episode of the
#1 listen to motorcycle podcast.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
Fuente, you happy to be here?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't ask for anything else.
Should we get this show started?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the big MM, also known as the
99%.
In stereo. That's right. Love it. Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history by being here by watching live, by listening to the podcast. You are part of what we call
Biker Revolution, bitches.
He was thinking for a second. That's right. Oh, God, thanks for being here, guys. We do have just one question for you before we get started. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics?
Mount up and let us take you on a wild-ass ride.
Nicely done. Welcome back. That's right. Ryan Erlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker Podcast and your
High-tech redneck.
in stereo. Both cans coming in right here. We do have a special guest in the chair there. I'll explain here in a second. He is a patron member, also involved with the Sworn Few MC. Happy to get him here finally. Nonetheless, this is a live show. It is a live patron member show only. And I see a bunch of awesome names in the live private chat. You get to chat with us. If you want to get hooked up with that, make sure you become a patron, guys. Mid-level or above, all the details are over there on our Patreon page. And it's a way we like to serve our community we've been doing a lot of this in 2018. So real quick, I know I say it, but we have a lot of new patrons coming in. So I always like to mention it. You have to go to your patron page, your account. I'll put usually a day before the links and what you need to do to watch and chat privately with us. It's all in there. Additionally, I would ask that you sign up. You'll also see it. I posted in the private Facebook group, which you'll also be there. And the third way I do it is if you go over to lawabidingbiker.com/live, our live page, there's a email list in the upper right-hand corner. Sign up for it. The only email you'll get from that list is when we go live. So it's 3 ways that we can communicate: Facebook, your patron account, and that free live email list. And with all the details, you have to have your patron access to get up in there, guys. So I do want to... let me just announce a new free video first, and then I'm going to introduce our special guest here. I always like to mention that we do have I've been working very hard on him. If you guys haven't seen him, please go over. It's blowing up. It's the new free video, the 2019 Harley FX DR 114 test ride and overview video. Guys, really, really liking that video. I'll put all this in the show notes, lawabidingbiker.com/whatever show number this is how you get the show notes for all our episodes. I also did not only a test ride video, I just pumped it out a couple days ago as the time of this recording. Of course, if you're listening in podcast format later and you're not live right now, it will have been a while, but it's an overview video. So a test ride and an overview video. They're 2 videos. They're blowing up. I worked really hard on them. They're completely free and supported by you guys, our patron members, which is why I keep pushing forward to work so many hours to get those things out. So awesome. Mike Clark, Tim Brown, Pablo Calcerata, Terry McDonough, David Schwartz from Israel. There we go. We know that name. Tim Brown. Yep. Jonathan. Oh, look at that. So Jonathan is right here in the studio. You guys have heard of him. You've seen him before. In fact, this is the guy that made the thumbnail for my Canada documentary. He's the guy with the Mount Everest pack on his bike. He made the actual thumbnail. Fuente is his nickname. Thanks for being here, Jonathan.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have it any other way. That's what I'm saying about the Rick Rack stuff. Don't go with that Mount Everest backpack. Trust me.
Nice call, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you tell us what real quick, just tell us what happened, why you didn't have Rick Rack. You had the Mount Everest backpack.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so we're going down the highway. We're going down the highway, and, we pull off a couple times. People lose stuff comes loose, and we pull off on this one time. I'm like, geez, who else lost their stuff, right? I mean, seriously. Again? Well, we pull off on the side of the road. I look back and I'm like, shit, where's my chaps? I'm like, I don't have my chaps. I'm like, well, maybe I put them in my bag. The deal was I had bungee cords. I mean, I was listening to the podcast with you and Oscar talking about Rick Rack. Mm-hmm. Talking about, it takes 20 minutes to get the stuff off with all the, bungee cords.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shoot, where are my chaps? Well, sure enough, Grunt, pulls up and he's like, dude, I had to run out in the middle of traffic.
I saw it.
In front of an 18-wheeler.
I was there too.
In front of an 18-wheeler to rescue your chaps. So trust me, don't go that route. Look up Rick Rack, give him a look, and trust me, you won't regret it.
Nice promo, dude. That wasn't even planned there, guys. Look at him. First time on the mic. Oh, tell the audience real quick, whatever you're willing to share. It doesn't have to be long, just because it's your first episode and you're on the mic. We've had a lot of patrons in here. I will tell you, very loyal patron, like so many of you in the chat right now. This is one of them. And very involved with Law Abiding Biker Media. He got involved with Law Abiding Biker Media, and then also he's not a full-time Leo at this time, but works in a similar field. But he became a friend of the club. We have special members that go through all the same things, but because the Sworn Few is a completely law enforcement, fully commissioned only, he still wanted to be a part of that, and he's very, very dedicated and goes through the same stuff. That just can't wear the 3-piece patch, basically, but they get a different, same vest, and it has a cookie. Without getting too deep in that, it has friend of the club. Anyways, Jonathan recently went through all of that, went through his probation and all that, and became a full-fledged friend of the club. So started as a patron, and then it kind of evolved into that. And I didn't say much because I want you to give just a little bit of your background and where you're coming from, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to anything. I mean, the wife and I, real quick, we moved from Western Washington, and apologies to anyone living out there dealing with all the traffic, congestion, rain, you name it. Anyways, we moved to the right side of the state, and during that process was just looking at researching, what bike I wanted to get, and stumbled on Lab, and I mean, the videos are just quality, and I think that's why people are patrons. I think that's why people join like me, to get that information, to get that knowledge base, to really be, your own mechanic. You don't have to take to the shop. You can do all the work yourself. And that's what drew me in. Funny enough, when I was interviewing, I work out at local jail. When I was interviewing, I recognized all the areas in the videos. I'm like, dude, I think these guys are local. Because you don't promote it, right?
Right.
You know, even the Sworn Few.
We forget to even talk about it. Yeah. I forget a lot of people throughout the world don't know where we're from.
Even the Sworn Few, it's like, hey, what's that hat he's wearing? SFMC, like, what is that? But anyways, recognized the areas and reached out actually to Robbie and sent an email and jumped on board, jumped on board with, the patrons, shopping through the Lab store, met up with Big Daddy Kane and Grunt down in the Tri-City areas, which, is where I'm from, and just went from there. And I remember you and I riding in Canada. Yeah. We're riding side by side, or, we're going through these twisties and curves. That was our first time riding, dude. Right? I'm telling you, we got to the stop, and I'm like, dude, I got to tell you, literally a year and a half ago to date, I'm watching videos about Harleys, looking at what bike I want to get, and I'm watching you on YouTube. And here we are riding through Canada together, side by side. I mean, I just got to say,
was it a touching moment? Or
oh
what?
Yeah. Well,
shit, come on.
No, that was later in the night.
We knew Rob was going to pipe in.
I thought you were going to go there, stroke him off. Way that conversation.
Jesus Christ!
No, that was you and me out at the farm. But that's a different story.
He can give it back quick.
Yeah. But anyway,
that is cool.
Dude,
I remember that conversation.
Well, even like Michael Clark, I know he's on the chat right now, but I mean, he and I met up as patrons.
Right.
I wasn't involved with, Sworn Few. He wasn't involved at Sworn Few at the time. And, we met up out, at his place and, just get involved. I mean, that's the only recommendation I have is, jump in, get involved, get chatting, meet up with local people, meet up if you travel. And, it's a good place to be.
Nicely done, dude. And that's what's so cool about what Law Abiding Biker Media has become. We've talked about it. There's so many names I see in the private patron right now, the live video broadcast we're doing that have hooked up with each other. And I know a ton that have hooked up with other patrons throughout the United States and even into Canada. And that's really what it's become, is a very social, more than just a social. It's actually becoming a meetup type thing where bikers can get together and meet other bikers and know other bikers in that private Facebook group from states and cities around the world that you can connect with. So yeah, well said, dude. Well said. With that said, I think we should just thank a few of these patrons.
Let's do it.
What do you think about that?
In the chat right now, we have Dan Dockery.
Dude, I don't want that song.
Yeah,
let's do this song. There we go, yeah.
Dan Dockery, who's currently in the chat.
Yeah, you're right.
Bulverde, Texas, top tier. Larry Walters of Walled Lake, Michigan. And Mike Stone of Mount Sterling, Ohio, top tier.
And next up, you got Tim Youngblood out of Vero Beach, Florida, top tier patron. David Thompson out of Spokane Valley, Washington, coming from our own state, another top tier. And finally, you got Dean Branch of Wickenburg, Arizona.
Dean Branch of, we already did that twice, of Fred Tintori of Lincoln, Nebraska. How about that? Matt Whitnam of Las Vegas, Nevada, top tier. Thanks, guys. And if you're listening in podcast format later, there really is no better time to sign up and join the biker revolution. Lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon is how you get over there. and all that kind of stuff, and get the benefits of being in this chat in that private Facebook group and hooking up and getting to know other bikers. That's the best part that what has become of Law Abiding Biker Media. So there you go. Those are sponsors of the show. Those are patrons, and we would love to have you guys be part of that. Robbie, you heard his voice there. I haven't given him his official intro. Popeye got mad when I didn't do that one time. So
Very upset.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got upset. Then I had to play it for him. Hey, I do want to say before we get started, hopefully you all, if you do like to have a drink and relax or whatever, if you don't, that's cool too. We are drinking. Jonathan never comes. So the first time we met too, he gave me a cigar. It was the patron meetup in Canada. We rode together for the first time, and then he offered me a cigar. He's into the finer things like me, like cigars and nice. Hold that up to the camera so they can see.
You gotta have.
I'm into the finer things.
yeah,
I don't know
clearly.
what the hell you guys are talking about.
He's got to rehydrate and drink that water.
Right. Yeah.
Anyways, we got some Lafroig Isla whiskey or Isla Scotch. It's where it's at.
Nice, dude. So this thing is it is a good Scotch, and I'm drinking it, and it's a very oaky. It's a very oaky, which is good. It's just you don't get a lot of Scotches.
It's heavy on the peat.
Yeah. It's going down really smooth, though. So, all right. We got the main topic, and I appreciate both Robbie and what are you doing over there?
Fuck you two.
Making signs.
It's like a little love deal. I don't know if I should leave or stay or what.
No, he was talking about emotional. Just wait later in the night.
Oh, yeah, dude. Wait till he gets 2 Scotches in him. We're done. Our main topic today, guys, which is why I have these two in the studio, and I want to thank Robbie and Jonathan both for being here and making the time and riding out. It is in the evening, and I know they're both very, very busy, but we wanted to do this topic, and so we were able to get everybody together. This is all about the Iron Butt Challenge. It's an inside look. Now, I will tell you straight up that I don't really know a lot about the Iron Butt. I mean, I know what it is, but I've never really researched it. I've never really been that interested. I get what it is. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be interested in it. I'm just a busy guy, and I really don't have time to take on another hobby or challenge at this time in my life. I know we've ridden some days that were pretty long and stuff, but this is a little above and beyond that. I'm going to break it down because both Robbie's been involved in an Iron Butt Challenge. Also Jonathan has, and most recently Jonathan, when he did our Midwest trip here in 2018, our 10-day 4,600 mile trip. Part of that was Jonathan iron butting it down to Kansas City and meeting us there. And so conducting a Iron Butt Challenge in the midst of our trip so he could meet up with us. So I am very curious to learn about it. And I didn't really research it a whole bunch because it makes the show better because I can just ask questions that you may have about it if it's something you've ever been interested in. We're going to break it down. We're going to go through it, some tips and tricks and what it's about, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, how you do it. And again, I don't know a whole bunch about it, so we will just start there. So let me tell you this. I'm going to read this real quick so it gives you an idea. The Iron Butt Association, the IBA, is a U.S.-based organization dedicated to endurance motorcycle riding with a claim of over 60,000 members worldwide who tout themselves as the world's toughest riders, quote unquote. One of its more popular slogans is the world, quote, the world is our playground. The IBA does have membership in a traditional sense. There are monthly newsletters sent to subscribed members. There are no mandatory yearly dues, although members can voluntarily pay an annual fee to become a premium member. Premium members receive occasional news and information from the IBA staff, early notice of some events, additional chances to enter some events, discounted entry fees and some events, and access to special areas of the web-based discussion board. It's a loose-knit organization. It goes on to say with only one way to earn membership: ride one of the several rides the IBA certifies. The minimum is the saddle soar, which is a 1,000 miles in 24 hours, which I think is what Jonathan did, if I'm not mistaken. You did more than that.
Yes.
Yes, you did a lot more than that. Sorry.
You're forgiven.
He did a shitload more.
I was going to say, that's why I corrected myself. How did I go, wait, he rode to Kansas City. Never mind. That's a lot more than that.
Yeah, he did basically what mine was, except I took a northern route to, I ended basically in Omaha when I did mine, but I went through Montana and stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, we'll get into it. But
Yes.
I mean, the real on that premium membership, the only thing to point out, a lot of the benefits behind that is the certification time. So when you submit your paperwork, premium members gets done in a matter of weeks compared to months.
We were talking about that at dinner tonight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the benefits they have.
So you get your name on the list and you get your certificate quicker.
Exactly. You don't have to have that lag time to wait. But, I mean, as to rides, I mean, the wiki is kind of misleading. It talks about, the Saddle Sore 1000, which is popular, was originally what I was looking at when talking to Robbie. But the website, they have a big list, and I'm sure we'll get into it here shortly. But, dude, literally, there's hundreds of rides broken down by countries, U.S., Italy, Germany. I mean, you name it. There's options out there for everyone that's going to fit. I mean, they have CC classifications on different CCs of bikes.
Click on that 2.5, Ryan. In the contents, that box, click on the 2.5.
Oh, where are you looking at, bro?
The 50cc Quest.
In the content.
Is it down here?
Yep, 2.5.
Right here?
Yeah, right there.
All right, we're on the IBA website, guys, if you wonder.
So when he says there's CC classifications.
Oh, yeah.
50cc Quest is a straightforward goal to ride across the United States from coast to coast in less than 50 hours. In the first 10 years after the ride was first recognized, only 10 riders were able to complete it. But I think you have to be on a 50cc bike or smaller, right?
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So you talk about the certification I went for. Yeah, that's not even scratching. You're talking about a 50cc coast to coast. I mean, that's crazy.
I agree. Now, there's some stuff coming up in the chat that I want to get involved. So Tim Brown, I wrote it down, seats. We'll talk about seats, what seats to use. Also, David Short says, let me tell you, doing a saddle sore is such a small country, and such a small country as Israel is challenging. Yeah, no doubt. Good comments coming in there, guys. Thanks for being involved with that. All right, so I'll just monitor those comments and I'll try to write some of this stuff down, guys, because we pick it up. So yeah, good point, Rob. Different CC classes, 100cc. Yeah. So we're going to break this down a little bit more as we go along here. So that's kind of an insight into what the Iron Butt Association is. This is what was interesting. We're going to be on their website right now while we're talking about this, guys. Now, Jonathan and Rob, they have two different websites. They have an org, and the org is really old and ugly. And then you can go to their Iron Butt Association website, but this is ironbutt.org, you see. And it's really, I don't know if you guys knew that, but as I was doing my research for this, and then you've got the really nice Iron Butt website right here. So do you guys know anything about that or why that is, or did they just change at some point and build a new website?
I've done about 3 Iron Butts, but I've only certified 2, and it was like 9 years ago, so I couldn't tell you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I mean, real quickly, and like I said, we'll get into specifics about certifications, turning it in, all that stuff, but I just typed in, on Google, so I didn't even know about the .org.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is the one you're using.
Yeah.
We'll use the .com. It's www.ironbutt, just like it sounds, .com is a much more professional website with all the good stuff. So let's just break this down. Why don't you tell me? Now there's certifications, there's all this kind of stuff. An Iron Butt basically is a long ass ride and you're testing endurance and there are specific requirements. So if somebody, let's start here. If somebody, you guys, either you can pick it up, I don't care. Let's just say I'm interested in Iron Butt and I want to do an Iron Butt. What's my first course of action to figure this out? Like, can you ride anywhere or can
you can ride anywhere. You need to plan your route. So
do they have routes already planned?
They do.
That you can pick?
You can look at some on there. However, I would say plan your route, what you want to do. So do you want to do it out and back? Do you want to go 500 miles, turn around, ride back? Do you want to take back roads or freeway? Obviously your freeway, you're going to eat up a lot more miles quicker. Do you want to get somewhere? Are you going somewhere? That's what I was doing. The same thing with Jonathan. So we had a destination we were trying to get to.
So, okay. So you can do it one way or you can do it combined there and back trip.
Yeah. I mean, there's some specifics. If you're going to do a loop, your documentation that you have has to be a little bit more in depth as to where you were turning around or what, where you're making your turn at. So, and that comes down to basically the proofing, how you prove. Because that's, if you look at any of the website, it's going to say, you have to prove that you went this distance. It's up to you. They're going to look at, based on...
Hang on 1 second. Sorry, because this is what we do. Hold that thought. This is interesting. David Schwartz may have corrected us on this. He says 50cc is coast to coast in 50 hours, not the motor size.
Yep, I read that.
Okay, and then 100cc must be coast to coast. Is that what it says? 100 CCC?
Yeah, that's my guess.
Okay.
There are certifications where it is based around CC, but I don't think it goes down to
100
50
CCC is 250 CCs done back to back. So coast to coast to coast.
Oh, gotcha. Coast to coast to coast.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
if you read the print under it, that's what it tells you.
Thanks, David Schwartz, for hooking us up on that. And so anyways, pick it back up. What? Sorry, I didn't even hear that. What'd you say?
So if you read the text right under it, tells you what it means.
Oh yeah, if I jump up over my mic here.
Yeah,
Good.
that's a minor.
Well, thanks for doing that.
That's a minor detail.
That's why you're a professional guest over there with a monitor in front of you too. All right, go ahead, pick it up.
So anyways, back to the loop. If you're doing a loop, you have to document where you make your turn. So if you're going to get on a different highway or you're going to turn back, you have to make sure that you have a documented receipt when you fill up for gas that has the date and time. And it depends on what certification you're going for. Like if you're for me, I made mine, and I'm sure we'll get into the details of it.
Well, and I love it. But let's start. How the question is where do you start to get signed up?
Well, you have to.
I want to hear about all this, but
you don't have to sign up ahead of time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there is no signing up. Like to be honest with you, I have not filed my ride.
Right.
Life is busy. Things have come up. I have all my documentation. The benefit is you don't have to. You can file for a ride as long as you have the paperwork done. And basically, you go on their website, you look up what certification you're going for. And the cool thing is, like the certification I went for.
So let's look at the certifications while we're doing this. Where do we find that? Certifications.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
So this first page that we pull up, it's going to be the most popular.
Okay.
So the one that I went for is the Bun Burner. And I told Robbie it's going to get a little bit more intimate. Bun Burner 1500 Gold.
You did the Bun Burner.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we don't want to know what that is for reals, dude.
I didn't know if my buns were burning during the ride or when I got to the hotel.
Right, dude. Okay. The Bun Burner 15, it gives you a little thing here. The Saddle Sore, 1,000. I'm just going to give you some ideas. 1,000 miles in less than 24 hours. The Bun Burner, 1,500 miles in less than 36 hours. Saddle Sore 1,600K, 1,600 in less than 24. Anyways, that's enough. And it goes on down. And so if you guys want to know what that is, that gives you the definitions.
And on this webpage, when you click on the link, it's going to bring you to the specifics of that cert.
So let's bring yours, the Bun Burner.
No, Bun Burner Gold.
Oh, Bun Burner Gold.
Yeah, get that correct.
Oh, Bun Burner Gold. Right here? Oh, no. There's the Bun Burner 1,500 Gold.
Right there.
Which is 1,500 miles in less than 24 hours. Gotcha.
So the cool thing, if you look at this webpage, the benefit behind it is you can, if you can't make it, let's say you can't make your time, you can still get a qualification. So there's the Bun Burner Gold, which is 1,500 and under 24. There's the Bun Burner Silver, which is 1,500 and under 30. And there's the Bun Burner 1,500, which is under 36. So let's say you're going for the gold like I was. If you don't make that time cut, it's not like it's out the window. You can still qualify for other certifications. So I mean,
right. So you could retroact and go, well, I didn't complete the gold, but I completed these three.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, the one note that I'll make is if you apply for a certification, they're not going to give you every single certification under that.
I was wondering.
They go basically for the highest certification. So you're not going to get,
whatever highest level you met, they'll give you that. They'll not give you the. So
no, not true.
Well, it depends. It depends when you file it, though. So like the Saddle Sore.
Object. Can you officially object?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you call me Your Honor?
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Counselor?
So
can I have a moment?
Can I appeal his objection?
We're not going to have a sidebar. This is public.
I did the 1,024 and the 1,536 on the same ride. They gave me both certifications.
It depends on what you're going for. So like on mine, the 1,500 and under 24, they're not going to give, even though I qualified the Saddle Sore 1,000, they're not going to give me that certification.
They did to me. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but it's different though, because mine was under 24. So even though I hit the Saddle Sore 1,000 at like 14 miles or 14 hours.
So you're saying here, Rob, I think the confusion is he did this, and if he missed this, if he at least did this, he would get the Saddle Sore 16. You did this one, Rob?
I did the top two at the same time.
Right. So the only other one you could get was that, but because he's up here, he can't get all of these. He would just get the next level one if he didn't complete this one.
No,
that's where the confusion.
I did the second one,
Right. So that's the only other one you can get.
They gave me the first one as well.
You could.
Correct.
I mean, it depends on how you. It
I
depends
did
on
two at the same. So here's what I did. I rode 500
gotcha.
miles. I rode 500 miles, and the next day I slept for like
This
3
is
hours.
confusing as shit.
And then
already.
I did 11.
No, it is.
And then I did 1,100 miles. I did 1,600. They
Gotcha.
gave me, and I submitted just for the like 1,000. They sent me back both.
I see. I was not tracking. Okay. Okay.
So the kicker is the lowest. So in Rob's case, the Saddle Sore 1000 is 1,024, which he achieved. Then he continued his trip and additionally achieved the Bun Burner 1,500. In my case, when I did the 1,500 in under 24, the website basically is saying, you've done 1,500 miles in under 24 hours. There's no reason for us. It's known, it's accepted. Right. It's accepted that you accomplished the Saddle Sore 1000 in that time period. I'm sure you could take your receipts and file paperwork again, but it's.
I filed one set of paperwork and
Yeah.
got both. I don't know.
Right.
The thing is, if you're filing for a tier above, in Robbie's case, he was filing for the bottom tier, the Saddle Sore 1000. There was a ride that he accomplished above and beyond
Correct.
that.
You're going retro.
You
You're
know what I
saying
mean? Yeah.
right. You're
Yeah.
saying if you don't make your ride, you can go
Exactly.
back one.
Russell
Yeah.
says they'll give you the Saddle Sore 1000 if you file it and pay for it.
Right, exactly. And that's what I was saying. If I wanted to file the paperwork, I would just have to take my receipts that prove I did the
And retroactive.
exactly.
So basically,
exactly.
What a pain in the
your
ass.
whole argument was bullshit. Is what you're
Well,
telling me.
no.
Oh, geez. Oh,
You just said they wouldn't do it.
Dude,
Now
it's
you're
the
saying,
first time
well,
I'm Mike and you're gonna do this
yeah,
to me?
No,
come
no.
on,
Oh
come
my
on.
Hey,
God.
I'm a cheap farmer, and I'm
You
a
can
cheap
hit
farmer, and
you can hit him in the
Washington.
balls there, dude.
Oh,
You should have expected this coming on with
That'll happen
Robbie,
later.
right?
Oh, I know it.
He's not going to be nice to you, even though it's your first time on the
Oh,
mic,
he
dude.
was begging me to finish his barn before I came up here.
Oh, geez. All right.
Talk about
So,
cheap labor,
no doubt, dude. You have helped him out of his cabin too, haven't you?
allegedly.
Allegedly.
I
Puked
can't.
on my floor, but
I've heard of this.
Yes. Good thing we didn't install that carpet. That would have gone
Oh,
bad.
God, dude. Good, guys. Thanks for the call. You guys are really busy in the chat, and we appreciate that. So, all right. So we've established some of this. So because you guys are teaching me as I'm going, I'm surmising that if I wanted to, I'd pick my ride. They have rides in here that you can pick per you guys. I also can say, I want to ride from here to Kansas City. How many miles in it? And I'm going to do it, by God. And this is the Bun Burner 1,500 Gold. That's what you did. You got on, you know, Robbie, you probably did the same and said, I want to go from here to here. Where does it fall for me in mileage? And can I do that? Let me ask you both this. Okay. And you can both answer. What inspires one? Because I love riding and we ride long days, right? Yeah, obviously, you know, we're riding 10 days in a row. You can't do this 10 days in a row. It's ridiculous.
yeah. Well,
I know
is
there
a
are
ride for
people,
that.
I know.
No, there is a deal.
Yep.
They do a thing every year. It's 10 days and it's 1,000 miles a day for 10 days. And
I'm going to
it's-
talk
and
about
it's their-
safety in a little bit.
And going
Okay, I am.
going back to the recent Alaska podcast that was live for patrons only. Again,
Oh yeah, to our two-part series on adventure riding in Alaska, right?
Throwing that plug out there for becoming a patron.
Boy,
So if you look on the website, there's the 48 states in 10 days. There's the 49 states, or I think they call it 48 states plus Alaska in 10 days, which is insane.
that is insane, dude. I'm all about riding and riding hard for days. I am. So I asked my question to you, Jonathan. What is it that inspires you to do an iron butt instead of just ride and enjoy yourself?
Well, I think
Not that that's not enjoyable in its own way. So give us get deep here.
I mean, I think, you know, I'm sure we'll get into it maybe in a future podcast, throwing the hint out there. But, you know, for me, just to put it plainly, a lot of these summer rides, I've had to play catch up.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the Canada patron ride, you know, I made one of those where, you know, I left after work, had to shoot up to Longview, Alberta.
And what he means
guys-
by makeup is we're already up there
Oh,
in
yeah,
the middle
yeah.
of our
Oh,
ride.
yeah,
You've got to
catch up.
somehow
Yep.
catch up with us.
Yep, the same with the Reno trip. And then sure enough, I don't know if it's just Robbie and how he plans things or what, but
I look at your schedule.
Ouch,
yeah,
dude. Coming right
no.
back at you.
Yeah, I figure he just looks at his schedule, but
Fact.
You know Robbie by now.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So I mean, it's a fact of the matter. Was talking about just my intro to becoming a patron and getting involved with Lab. I just love being a part of it.
Is there
And so-
something specifically about it though that you're like, It makes you
It's a
feel
challenge.
whole. Is it just?
It's just a challenge. It's like, you know what? I want to be a part of this. I want to make it down there. You know, I could take my time, but why? You know, I don't want to miss out on, you know, the long days that we're doing or you know, and unfortunately I missed the patron ride by a day. I left the day of the patron ride, so I didn't make it this year. You know, and that was a big regret, but, you know, it just came down to time and, you know, my work schedule.
Right.
And I couldn't, you know, you can't get the time off.
Work really gets in the way of my private life.
I know, right?
Fact.
You know, I'm trying to work with the union at work, but so far it's not working out for me.
Right, yeah.
But no, I think it's just the challenge. You know, I looked at the schedule, I looked at where you guys were going to be at, and I was like, dude, I can accomplish the certification. And originally I was looking at the Saddle Sore 1000. I'm like, dude, I can do this. I mean, this would be sweet just to say that you've done it. You know, I've done it. This is when I did it. You know, it's a cool memory to have.
Right.
And then going back to Robbie, he changed the destination and added 150 miles on to my trek. So I'm like,
Good job, Robbie.
okay.
I wanted to make sure he wasn't short on miles.
Oh yeah. Dude, he texted me I'm in Wyoming at about 11 o'clock at night.
I didn't change anything that late.
No.
It was set 2 months before.
No, I know, not in Wyoming. But he texted me. He's like, hey, bro. He's like, where are you at? I'm like, I'm in Wyoming. He's like, where are you stopping at? I'm like, I'm not stopping unless to fill up for gas. He's like, dude, what are you going for? I'm like, dude, I'm going for the 1500 and under 24. He's like, dude, you're crazy. And apparently, according to the rumors, he woke up every 2 hours and was checking my glimpse that I had sent out.
He was.
I was
all
probably
concerned.
passed out, to be
All
honest with
concerned.
Likely that
yeah.
was what happened. Passed out.
Another Whitefish, Montana moment.
Yeah, dude. No doubt. Okay.
No, it's just, I mean, you know, to get back to the question, to put it blankly, I mean, it's, you know, it's a cool thing. It's a challenge. It's something you can say you've done. You know, there's a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of patrons. I know Russell Roberts. Shout out to Russ. You know, he's done some of the certifications. Some of the other patrons I've talked to have done them. And, you know, it's just something cool to say you've done.
Yeah, I agree. So that's an honest answer. Robbie, how about you?
I think, and I think this is part of Jonathan's reason too, you had a place to get to.
Right.
You had limited time to get there.
Might as well just do it.
And I'm going to ride it anyway. Might as well fill out the paperwork.
Nice.
Now, I've done a couple other ones that I didn't do the paperwork because I'd already done it. Like I've ridden straight through from here to Vegas, and that's 1,030. I didn't do any paperwork.
So that's the Saddle Sore 1000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's how the Bun Burner 1500 Gold came up. Is at some point before the summer ride, the route had changed, and so it added 150 miles. I'm like, well, shoot, you know, I'm doing 1670. It was 1,670 miles. I'm like, I can make it, and if I don't make it, you know, I can settle for the Bun Burner, like we talked about earlier, the Bun Burner 1500 Silver.
Right.
I can settle for that, you know. So there's no loss. There's no reason that you shouldn't try to. If you're going this distance, you might as well look it up on the website, find out what the specifications are, you know, and go for it. I mean, there's
you really don't get anything out of this other than a patch, right? And bragging rights.
Pin and a patch.
A pin and a patch and a bragging rights, right? So people know up front.
So funny enough.
But it's mostly it's personal pride.
Yeah,
I would think
you know, they give you
the
a
patch and the
certificate.
pin, whatever. Yeah, but
Funny enough, on their website, and they say if you look into it, the Bun Burner Gold 1500, they do not publish your time.
right, because
Yeah.
that's pushing 24 hours, and you might have to be going.
And I mean, I would not claim to have
Right. No, I mean,
done any of that.
of course not. I mean,
No.
you were sleeping halfway, anyways.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was Wyoming. I mean,
Eating out of his doggy treat.
Hey,
I gotta talk about that,
Hey,
dude.
we're gonna get to that later.
It's a scrotum, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's a sheep scrotum that he turned
That's
into a goodie bag.
That's a trade secrets. We'll get into that later.
All right, so guys, figure out what you want to do. Figure out what you're going for. Fill out the paperwork. What does the paperwork consist of here, guys?
So basically, when you look at the website, they're going to have I went with 3 forms. I had already planned out my route with my fuel stops, and I also made, you know, like a little spreadsheet, you know, in Word with my estimated time. I had basically calculated out if I have an average speed of 70 miles an hour, just based on the highways, because it was all, like Rob was saying, it was mainly highways. I had a place I wanted to get to. So I had an estimated time of arrival. So you can basically plan your own route and have it on a separate piece of paper. But when you look at their paperwork on their website, they have a official form that you can print out that has a starting witness location. So if you're doing the Saddle Sore 1000, you have to have one witness at the beginning of the ride that verifies your odometer reading and verifies where you're starting at and what time. And they sign off and they write down their contact information if for some reason the people at Iron Butt have to reach out to them. If you're doing what I did, the Bun Burner 1500 Gold, you have to have 2 eyewitnesses at the start. Yeah. So it's explained, they explained everything very well on the website. So again, go to the website, look at the specifications. They have all the necessary forms. The only thing you really need to have beyond that is receipts. So the receipts are when you fill up gas. And what I did, and I'm not sure if Robbie did this, you take a picture of your receipt with your odometer reading. And if for some reason there's a discrepancy in time, and it really only comes down to the start time and the end time, you actually have to have, so like when I got into Nebraska City, Nebraska, for my endpoint, I think I was at 1,550 miles. I actually hit, the time was incorrect. And so I had to go in and have the lady not only sign for the ending verification.
I had one of those too.
But sign for the fact that the receipt.
The time on the receipt was wrong?
Exactly. It was off by like 10 minutes.
Gotcha.
So I showed her my phone. I said, listen, here's the phone. Here's the GPS reading. Here's what your receipt said as to the date and time. Can you just verify that? And so we just wrote, it's honestly, it's not that bad. You just wrote a handwritten note. Listen, time of receipt was off 10 minutes.
Did this?
Yeah.
Like some random clerk?
Mine was off by a couple hours. I had to, and I didn't take it in and have anybody correct it, but I documented that I wrote a deal on the receipt. So when I turned that receipt in, it was written on it. Time was actually, whatever. But yeah, it's what Jonathan's doing. But Jonathan, that was your endpoint?
That was my endpoint.
Yeah,
so it was mine a little bit more. Yeah, it was a little bit more crucial.
Mine was a mid-trip receipt, so it didn't. I mean,
they can still verify
they can
through
look
the
at
other
the receipt before and after it,
right? And when they chart, when they chart it out, they're going to
circumstantially, right?
Yeah,
right.
They're going to see that you're making your time. So that was part of the reason I had my own separate travel plan with my estimated time, so I could just check to see if I was actually going to make it. So I just did the math. I'm like, okay, if I'm doing 70 miles an hour. This is I'm doing 180 miles. It's going to take me this time. I factored in my break time and all that stuff, but
minus road construction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's unknowns. I hit 450 miles. Basically, all of Nebraska was complete rain. So that factors in your time. I almost didn't make it.
Right.
I almost didn't make it because of that rainstorm.
And you were going from Washington State
to Kansas City, Missouri.
Just so we know. To give because I don't think we said that up front. So good. I want to dive in a little bit deeper, but we definitely need to do this. You're searching for the easiest and quickest attachable luggage system for your motorcycle. Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that can come loose and slap your paint. Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. This father-son team designed something really special. Can't find it anywhere else. Yep. And these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers. The Rick Rack Quick Attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your Quick Attach system. Once you use Rick Rack, you'll never go back. Rick Rack! What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Head over to Law Abiding Biker Store. Check out our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. lawabidingbiker.com/store. And if you're going to do an iron butt, you will definitely, as explained, want a Rick Rack system. Quick detach, nice and secure on your bike. Easy access. There you go. Real good. Robbie's coming in with snacks and more Coors Light here. If you're listening in podcast format, I'm just giving you a visual. There you go. Drinking water beer, but I always provide water beer. It's actually good. Otherwise, Robbie he won't be able to talk on the mic when he's done. That's happened. But
Fact.
All right. So, Jonathan, Rob, let's go on from there. So yours, I just want to get yours is from Washington State to Kansas
City, Missouri. Yep.
Right, which is where you met us. Yours was
Washington State to Missouri Valley, Iowa.
Okay. Very good. So we got the paperwork filed, right? And that's, you have to, before you even take off, is that something that you can submit in PDF? Or
no, you don't have to do anything. Like I said before at the start of the show, I still have not submitted my paperwork.
I'm trying. I just didn't know if you had to at least email them and say, I'm going to attempt this.
No,
they don't care.
No, they don't care.
Okay.
They want your final stuff.
Yeah, they want the completed packet of, and like they say on their website, it's entirely up to you to prove that you went the distance in this time.
Right.
So
David Schwartz said his saddlebag was open once. It was not pretty. He lost all of his documentation. Dude, in chat, dude.
I'd pull over and just kick my bike over and go fuck it.
Kick your bike over, grab a bottle of whiskey. I'd just sit on the side of the road and drink straight out of the bottle, dude.
Well, but honestly, that's the thing. You're relying on printers.
What do you?
I don't know.
Is
it like the salt all over these?
Yeah, it's just crystals that do when you keep it in the fridge. It's the salt that comes out of it and it crystallizes. You don't have to eat them.
Heaven forbid, I'm trying to stay on track.
Suck on this, Jonathan. Tell me what tastes like.
Jeez, just hand him a meat stick, dude. You do not have to suck on it. You're live.
No, that's okay.
You're live on video, bro.
Hey, dude, I'm down.
It'll make the thumbnail, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll suck on that.
Don't be chewing in the mic. Freaking Matt's gonna get all freaking crazy and edit. All right, so no paperwork before. Let's move on. You guys want to break down? Let's just break down. Robbie, is there anything else you want to add up to this point that I didn't ask you?
Ahead of time, be in the mindset you're going to do it. Get plenty of rest, and if you wake up in the morning you didn't sleep well or something, don't attempt it because it is a long day of riding.
I was going to say that, and I do want to talk about safety because we're going to talk about that a little bit, Jonathan and Rob, in a little bit, but I don't want to get there yet. Anything else you want to say up to this point, and then we're going to move on to your actual rides and tell us what some of the things you did and some of the things you learned and all that kind of stuff.
No, I mean, I think like Robbie said, you really have to look at what you want to shoot for and realize that it may or may not happen. With riding bikes, I mean, there's so much that's out of your control. Weather. I mean, even on the summer ride, we hit that, storm front when we were going through Kansas. I mean, we got lucky when we went through it.
Right.
I mean, when we went up, we met out with, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but a group of riders from a certain state. And when they were doing their return trip, they had to stop because there was a tornado in front of them. And luckily, right. And luckily, we bypassed that.
We talked about them in our trip, Reno, or our Midwest trip. Podcast.
So I mean, there's things like that where, like Robbie said, if you wake up and you don't have the sleep, or there's bad construction, or your bike breaks down, or you're just not mentally in it, you just have to realize like, all right, there's always going to be another time that you can do it, and don't put your life on the line for getting a certificate.
Or
it's not,
right.
It's
wait
not,
till you're in the right mindset.
Yeah,
prepare and start hydrating the day before. Russell Roberts says in chat. So yep, get hydrated up.
I'm going to do one tomorrow.
Okay. Rob's hydrating with Coors Light. Is that acceptable? Or he did say hydrating, he didn't say water. So who knows? Russell will probably correct that in there.
Well, I mean, it practically is water. So
we are drinking, how do you say it?
Lafroig.
Aged 10 years, and it's going down smooth, Jonathan. I'm not going to lie to you. So, all right, get into it. So you leave. Robbie, why don't you start and just tell me how yours went? And just open mic, dude. Like, what are some of the things you learned that you would have did different? What you didn't do? What are some of the hassles you can run into and all this kind of stuff? And then Jonathan can piggyback.
You have to have a starting witness. So make sure you got somebody, buddy of yours or whatever, that can sign as your starting point.
You have to do a background check on any of these guys? Or?
No, it doesn't matter. Convicted felon doesn't matter. So I had a buddy of mine do my starting point. And when I left, I wasn't dead set on doing it. I thought, well, I'm going to have him sign it in case I do. That was literally my thought process. So my buddy signed.
There's a form that you have from their website.
Yeah, you print it off. They sign. You have to give their name, phone number, and address in case they want to contact them.
Okay.
And then I rode to Butte, Montana. It was just over 500 miles, like 506. And I slept for, I'm thinking, about 4 hours.
So there are some of these trips time to take a quick snoozer.
If you do 1,500 in
right
24 hours,
right? Probably
or 36. Yeah. I did 1,536.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got lots of time.
Right. True.
So I slept for like 4 hours. So then I got up, and I tent camped that night.
Did you rub one out?
No, I was
really,
dude. What happened is I tent camped, okay, and I forgot my damn pillow. So I woke up at like 3 a.m, couldn't sleep. I'm like, son of a gun. So
that sucks, dude.
I'm a cop, right? So I get on my phone. Oh, see what county I'm in. Oh, local county sheriff's office. Called their dispatch. Hey, I'm a cop from out of town.
You would, dude.
Oh, I did too.
Robbie's so social like this. I love
said,
it.
Hey, can you send an on-duty guy over here? Is he busy? No, he's not. Well, I'm thinking he ain't doing shit. He's in the middle of Montana, right?
Tying up the local resources.
So he drives over. I give him some patches and stuff. He signs as my witness for the second day. And then I rode.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, that's how I did it. So then I got on the bike at 3 a.m, I rode over the Rockies in the dark. It wasn't light until I got to the other side. And looking back, he did the same thing pretty much. Looking back, I'm thinking, dude, that was dangerous as hell, And so I was pulling a trailer. So I carried 4 gallons of gas on the trailer, or 2.5 gallon cans, I guess, on the trailer, and then my bike. So when I would pull over on an on-ramp, and I would dump those gas cans in my bike and eat a granola bar, and I had like a case of water in my trailer, and I'd go. And then I would fill up the bike and the jugs, and then I would go, stop, fill up from the jugs, So,
and this makes sense because on your receipts, it's going to show, you only have a 5 gallon, 6 gallon tank. They're going to realize, he bought X amount of gas.
20 gallons of gas.
All right. They're either like, that's one big ass bike or.
Right.
Right.
So I got going and I was going to tent camp, and I just kept riding, and I was in a groove, and I just kept riding and riding and riding. That day I did 1,100 miles. And when I got to where I was going, I went to the gas station, and I'm talking tiny town, a couple hundred people. I don't know how big Missouri Valley, Iowa is, but it was tiny. Went to the gas station, and I said, hey, where do the cops hang out here? She's like, oh, they're here. They hang out here. They were just here like 20 minutes ago. I said, hey, can you call one of them? Do you know one?
Nice.
I know a little town. Of course, she knows him. She's like, oh, yeah, I know Bob. He's on duty. I go, I'll call him, have him come back. Okay. So he comes.
This is Robbie. I love Robbie for this kind of stuff. Dude.
He rolls back.
I wouldn't have the balls.
Dude, I'm giving him shirts and shit. And I'm like, hey, dude, I'm doing this thing. I need a witness. And okay. So he signed off. And,
AKA bribes.
Yeah.
Bribing the folks. I don't know if that's allowed via Iron Butt. But
I went over to...
just throwing that out there.
Listen to this guy over here, dude.
He's an idiot. So I went over to the Super 8 and crashed, and that was the end of my ride. And then the next day I got up and rode into Des Moines, Iowa.
So, and was it, did you get sleepy, dude, at all on any of that point where you're like, this is kind of sketchy?
David Short says, do not use coffee or energy drinks during the ride. This actually makes it worse. I lived on energy drinks, dude.
Look at him. He's got like 6 Coors in front of him. Look at this guy.
Dude, I drink 2 energy drinks on a day like that. Dude, when I ride to like Vegas straight through, I stop, power down an energy drink and a granola bar and go.
I don't drink those things, but I know you guys do.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference though. And I know what he's talking about is, so when I ran down to Reno, from Tri-Cities, I think it's 700 miles, so you're talking about, a decent pace is like, 12 hours, 13 hours, with stops. I'm normally, 2 Red Bulls and a bag of, Lay's potato chips. If you're doing an Iron Butt, you kind of have to plan out what your nutrition is going to be.
Because you're not really going to be eating at fine restaurants and killing time, right?
Oh, no, you're a gas station. You're throwing down a burrito and a pop and going or something.
Or plan beyond that and have stuff in your bags.
I threw, what are they called? Those Cliff Bars.
Oh, yeah.
I had like 10 of those in my deal.
You just eat those. We do that a lot on our trips. Like this year, we just ate beef jerky and, and stuff like that.
Well, that's the thing. Like with the Iron Butts, you actually have to like have a plan. Like, whether you're going to go to the energy drinks or not, you need to have something in mind of, hey, here's my strategy. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to eat. I'm going to pack my food, or I'm going to, get it at the gas station, like Robbie was saying. When I think of a gas station, I think of gas. I don't think of food, but that's just
not the best food. I'm gonna tell you, John.
It's not part of the keto diet.
No, not at all.
Well, not to say that my saddlebags were keto diet approved, but it worked. But that's the thing. It's important. You have to be making sure that you're getting that nutrition because like we talked at the start. You need to be safe. It's a certification. It's a piece of paper. It's something. So
I'm not sure it's the safest thing to do in the first place. Try to make it as safe as you can. I'm not going to lie
exactly.
to you.
To do what's that?
A lot of people are not fans of the Iron Butt because they think it's dangerous. And there have been motorcyclists. I read some articles today preparing for this that have died doing Iron Butts and went off roads and fall asleep. So it's something that has to be taken we're having fun here talking about it, but it's actually a very serious thing.
It is.
Like, no joke about hydrating and sleep.
Well, and like looking back, I'm sure we'll get into it later in the show, but there's things and times where you're like, I should have done that. I should have done that differently.
Right.
So for mine, I left my home at, 10 o'clock in the morning, and different from Robbie, I wanted to do this. I knew I was going to do it. I just wasn't sure if I was going to make that time cutoff of that 24 hours. Because it's that's a lot of miles in 24 hours, and there's a lot of unknowns.
Correct.
And so I didn't have the extra gas cans, so I limited myself to simply gassing up and eating on the road. So Robbie was alluding to the scrotum or the dog training bag or whatever you want to call it.
It's a sheep scrotum.
Yeah, I mean, you could say it's like a fanny pack.
And you dried it in a meat dryer, and it's turned into a snack bag.
Yeah, there's no good. I mean, honestly, there's no good way to say what it is. It's actually a dog training like treat bag.
It was funny when you showed up with that.
Oh
dude.
yeah, but listen, I mean, that was my plan.
Right.
I had it strapped around my waist. I stopped at the gas station. I'd go use the restroom, come back, load up my little compartment of potato chips. So I had potato chips, trail mix, gummy bears, and pepperoni sticks. So Lay's potato chips, it's good carbs, gives you good energy. You burn carbs in about 2 hours. So it actually is a good, decent source of energy. Plus it has that sodium, so it's going to keep some water retention for staying hydrated. Because that's one of the worst things. And I made a mistake. If you saw any pictures on Facebook or anything or on the Patreon group, my hands from that first day were crisped. I mean, you talk about burnt red. And, that was one of the big mistakes that I made. I wore a long sleeve shirt specifically to make sure I wouldn't get sunburned, but I didn't put anything on between the sleeve and my glove.
Right.
And I mean, it was bad. So, I mean, there's unknown things that you're going to hit, but I would gas up, load up my snack bag, and hit the road. I mean, there was no downtime. There was no rest.
Because if you did, you wouldn't have made it within the time.
Exactly. You gas up and go. And going into it, I knew if I didn't make that time cutoff, I could go for the 30 hour, I could go for the 36. And so I was always asking myself at each stop, like, am I good? Am I, of the right mind? And I didn't hit that point. There was one point in the trip. It was in Nebraska, in the rain. Like I talked about that 450 miles where it was pretty much, there was a nasty storm front. We're talking, mid or late June. I mean, they were getting hammered with just rain and nasty storm fronts. And I pulled off to a rest stop, not a gas station stop, not a planned stop. And I'm doing body weight squats, push-ups, jumping jacks.
You were that tired, huh?
Yeah, I was too tired. I recognized it. I'm like, all right, I got to pull off and either see if I can get back in the game or if I need to sack out. And, I pushed through. My wife would probably say that's just my stubbornness, but
stupidity is
she
what
probably
she would
also
say.
call you stupid.
Yeah, she would not say stubborn.
I was good to go. I was good to go. I was good to go. Get some workout on. I mean, I was good to go. But looking back, there's strategies to it.
Right.
But you just have to be honest with yourself, assess where you're at, assess where you are at mentally and physically, and see if it's worth going on. Because like you said, it's a piece of paper. We're having fun talking about it tonight,
right.
But it's not worth losing your life over or anything like that. So,
agree. I've got a good question for you here. Oh, yes. Are you searching for the easiest and quickest detachable luggage system for your motorcycle?
I am.
Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that can come loose and slap your paint. Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. This father-son team designed something really special that you can't find anywhere else. Yep. And these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers. The Rick Rack Quick Attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your Quick Attach system. Once you use a Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Head over to the Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. That's lawabidingbiker.com/store. All right, and because I screwed that up, we do appreciate Rick Rack very much. They got 2 commercial spots in this episode because that's how we roll.
2 commercial spots.
That's right.
Blame it on the scotch.
Yeah. No, dude, I got so many questions. I'm looking over here at the board and I'm like,
I have a question for Jonathan.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you do for drinks while you're on the road? Do you have a cup holder on your bike?
No, I don't. Which actually, looking at some of the bikes in the summer ride, it would have been great if I would have gone over to lawabidingbiker.com/shop and looked up Zero 3D.
Nice,
right.
Dude. It would have been very, very nice. I think we should just do that. Oh, yeah, dude. That's how we roll. Hey, Bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? Zero 3D has just what you're looking for. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Zero 3D's got your back with chrome lighting and comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. That equals less time installing and more time riding. Zero 3D has a design team with over 40 years experience. That's right. These guys are bikers and care about bikers just like you. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email, sales@03.com. Give them a call, 715-808-0027. 03D is distributed in the U.S. by Drake Specialties, in Europe, Parts Europe, and Zodiac and in Asia by Twin Arc. Check your local Hardy dealership. Ask for Cero parts. Better yet, help support us right here. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of Cero 3D products. So here's my question, Jonathan, Robbie, because I got to ask it. What about urinating? Do you guys literally carry a bottle with you, or do you wear a diaper?
Have you ever seen Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah,
just go, man.
Just go right there, dude.
Oh yeah, you just do it.
Did you carry? Did you carry a bottle?
You should be the expert at this.
Well, I'm just telling you. I would, if I was planning for an iron butt.
Could you imagine,
especially the one you did? I would
trying to piss in a bottle on a bike going down the road.
Well, you could just piss off the side of it.
Oh, yes.
I mean, to get back to a serious
with a hose. It is a serious note. Do you just stop real quick and piss on the side of the freedom? It's a serious question.
Robbie said it perfectly though. You at some point in the ride, you get in the zone and you just lay down the miles. You get in a rhythm. You know, your first stop,
kind of like running and everything else.
Yeah, you hit your first stop. I think my first stop was 192 miles in. I knew it. I wanted to make good time. My last legs were more conservative, so I went for 140, 150, just knowing I was going to be tired. But yeah, I mean, you hit that leg and you just lay it down. Like I said, I only had one unplanned stop at that rest stop in Nebraska. It wasn't because I had to go to the bathroom. Funny enough, though, going to the bathroom actually helps you keep awake,
right? As
well as being cold. So, I mean, those are actually things you can take into account and say, it actually helps you stay in the game. Man, I gotta take a leak. That's something, a feeling that actually keeps you in the game.
Correct. True.
So I mean, that's just kind of strategies. But I mean, some people are going to be different. They're going to have health conditions or anything like that. But, if you need to go, pull off on the side of the road, go. I mean, it's, it depends on where you're at, though, too. I mean,
right.
I went through Wyoming and, we're talking, I mean, it's just desolate.
I could pee in a bottle while riding. I'm not going to lie to you.
When I rode, it was gas to gas to gas. Because.
So even if you had to piss, you just hauled out till the next gas station?
Well, it's just like when we're riding in a group of 25 guys.
Correct. I've held it for a long period.
There's been times where we're 15 minutes down the road.
I don't want to hold everybody.
Yeah, and I'm like, God, I got to piss.
Oh, yeah. When we're searching for Route 66. And it's like, dude, let's just, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah. Gas to gas.
Gas to gas. Okay, good.
And I've ridden, I came back from Pittsburgh to Washington State one time and with Rick, and we did a couple 900-mile days back to back. And we might have gone back to back to back 900-mile days. And it was just, we weren't trying to do iron butt or anything. It was just where you get out in some of these states, you're in a lot of towns with hotels,
Correct,
so
right.
Just where we can stop at 700 or we can push on and go to 9, but I'm probably not going to go to 14 or whatever. So that's what we did, gas to gas. And we rode it like 3 straight days like that.
And you can do it with partners then?
There was 3 of us.
3 of you, so you can. Is there a limit?
Well, no. You can do 20 guys if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, because you file it all on your own.
Yeah, one of the questions in here was, what size group would you recommend?
Oh, in the chat.
And I said, probably 4, no more.
Because it's just going to slow you down at gas stations. You're going to lose time.
There's one whole shitter.
Right.
Everybody's got to piss. Oh, there's 25 minutes. You've got 2 pumps. Everybody's got to fill their bike up. I mean, it's just, that stuff just takes time. So,
well, and getting back to that, you have to I had to look up the hours of operation for the gas pumps. You have to look that stuff up because some pumps are closed. When I got lucky when I made that.
You got that detailed, huh?
You have to.
Dang, dude.
I did.
And the only reason,
you didn't, dude.
Well,
I'll tell you right now.
So I only say that, and the only reason I don't credit it to anything other than luck. When I made that run down to Reno, I left at 3:00 in the morning so I could get down at a reasonable time, not knowing you guys were going to hit that hailstorm. Mm. And sure enough, my first gas stop, I think it was somewhere in Oregon, small town. They had just opened at 6:00
in the morning.
And I rolled in at like 5:45. So
I had no cards at the pump.
No, there's not.
Now hang on, don't say anything more. You went 395 south out of Pendleton, and you were about 40 miles short of John Day.
Yes.
Yeah, I was with a buddy, ran out of gas right in that area, and I had to go
right?
back. I go back, we drove through there 20 minutes earlier. I go back, gas station's closed.
The benefit is it was a weekend, and it's the local coffee hangout. And so I literally walked in. I'm like, hey, listen, I know you guys aren't open, but here's the deal. I'm trying to catch up with the group. Can I gas up and go? And they hooked me up.
Really?
So, oh, yeah.
I heard some hymns coming from the church. I walked over there, and I'm like, hey, I'm stranded. I got my buddy stranded down the road, and we were in a rainstorm. And so some guy took me to his house and gave me his lawnmower gas.
Oh my God, dude. Are you serious?
Yeah, it was Mario ran out of gas.
Okay. That Mario was with you on that trip, dude.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. Oh my God. Freaking hilarious. That might be a reason to carry, like, even if you're not going to, maybe carry a little spare gas in your saddlebag.
Oh yeah. I mean, I thought about it, but I looked up the hours of operation to make sure they were open and but it's something to think about. I mean, it's not it's something good to have. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I have one of those triangle shaped gas cans that you buy at Harley for $20.
Yeah, right.
It was 1 gallon, but that's 25, 30. Well, depends how you ride, I guess. For me, probably 5 miles.
Right. Yeah, dude, to get you another 5 miles. And I'm glad you paid the Harley-Davidson tax on their special plastic. That's a special Harley plastic that they make that gas jug out of.
Actually, I bought it from my uncle who sold his bike, and I got it for like $10.
Nice, dude. That's a good buy.
Yeah,
those are pretty handy. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, they're little, they fit the shape of your saddlebag down in the bottom back corner, kind of a triangle type. And it's, what is it, a gallon, Robbie?
1 gallon.
1 gallon.
Yeah. Robbie burns through gas because he never goes above 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very safety conscious.
Low idle.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
So let's, this is great information. I appreciate you guys talking about this. So as we go towards the downhill slide here on this deal, so what would you change real quick, Jonathan, about your ride? Is there anything you would do different? They go, yeah, that would have made it more convenient. And then Robbie, you can piggyback.
I don't know if I would have changed anything about
That's bullshit.
Making it convenient. I mean, there's just unexpected things that come up. I mean, 200 miles into it, I think I was in somewhere in I think I'd crossed into Idaho. I lost my ABS and it flickered up, pulled over. Well, I waited until my next gas stop, turned the bike off, didn't use my FP3 at the time. I probably should have to get the engine code to pull it. Cycled the bike off, turned it back on, ABS came back. Needless to say, 600 miles later, the ABS went out completely. There's just things that are going to come up. Things are going to come up. I mean, the one thing I would have done differently is look at the miles per hour for the highways you're traveling. I had assumed...
You just did the 70 standard.
I had assumed...
I think it's safer to do the 60 standard.
That gives you... No,
isn't it? Because that gives you flexibility.
It's not everywhere 70 plus except Oregon.
I know, but if you factor in that it's only 60...
You have to look at your specific routes. The mistake that I made, and the one thing I would, if I'm being honest, would change, is you have to look at what highways you're going in. So when I got into the tail end... and I don't remember the break-off point. When I broke off to a local highway. So the speed dropped down from 60 or 70 to 45 in rain, in traffic. And so I have my GPS up, and I'm looking at, I have on the boombox, and I know we knock it a lot. The one good thing that I had was the arrival time in that situation. Mm-hmm. So I could look at the arrival time and say, okay, listen, I literally had 9 minutes to spare. So I had to make up time. Now, I only made up 6 minutes, and I'm not going to tell you how I made it up, but I did because I hadn't factored in the fact that the local highway for a decent stretch, about 30 or 40 miles, was through towns with stoplights, with a 45 mile per hour speed limit, with traffic in rain. And so the one suggestion I would have is don't make that assumption that the highways you're traveling are 60 or 70. You really should look up what is the speed limit for that highway. I could have easily accomplished the ride if I would not have broken off and taken an alternative route a little bit more north instead of cutting down the more direct path to Kansas City.
Okay.
So it's
good to know. Good information. Mm-hmm. Robbie, anything different you would have did? Would you have eaten something besides Cliff Bars?
My cruise control on that particular bike would only set at 80.
Nice. Dude, this is what's funny is two total opposites about how you went about this, dude.
Oh, I know.
I was like, I grabbed a corn dog, forgot my pillow, called local cops.
Drank 2 beers.
Yeah, right. Drink 2. And I didn't even know if I was going to make it. Didn't give a fuck. But I made it anyways. Here's Jonathan. I studied for years preparing, and I worked out, and I trained like Sylvester Stallone for this one moment in my life.
Oh yeah, it was like a flashback to Rocky IV. Yeah, I mean, I was getting it on.
It's great to have two total opposites because it's just
training in the winter.
You want to know another deal? The second one I did when I rode to Vegas and didn't even do it. The only reason I did it was there was a football game on at 5:30 I wanted to watch, so I left at 2 a.m. The only reason I did.
That sounds about right, dude. Yep. That sounds about right for Robbie. Oh my God. Okay, good. So you get done with these rides. I remember Jonathan in Kansas City. He got there, and we were already there, of course, because we had ridden days before, and we had been doing all kinds of stuff. And he was literally, I looked in your eyes, dude. You were not there. His eyes were like looking into a desolate place, man.
Well,
I know you were tired.
Let's tell the true story.
Okay.
So I finished the ride. I finished the Bun Burner 1500 Gold, rolling to Nebraska City. My time was 23 hours and 46 minutes.
Damn, dude, you had
literally 14 minutes.
14 minutes.
Well, and funny enough,
and you did.
We go back to that receipt. The receipt was off by like 10 minutes. I'm like, no. You got to fix this. Write down this.
And now you're wasting time too.
Oh yeah.
The 10 minutes it takes to get fixed, you're wasting, right?
Going back to the witnesses talking, and Robbie had mentioned this to me. If you go on their website or you go on their discussion board, you can actually find members that belong to Iron Butt that will sign your verification.
You set it up ahead of time.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Hey, call up the guy. Hey, Ryan, I've seen you done Iron Butt. I'm coming through the area. I'm going to finish in your area. Can you meet me at the Texaco on 1st Street and sign me off? Oh, yeah. And they'll meet you there or whatever.
Gotcha.
So I took a play out of Robbie's book and went by the seat of my pants and had a gas station attendant and a Subway attendant sign off on my verification.
I like it.
Nice.
But, it's what
more
I had.
Robbie style.
And, you kind of have to sell it. You have to sell it, explain what you're doing, walk in, tell them what you're doing. Hey, this is it's an Iron Butt Association. It's a group of...
They're like, what? Get out of here.
You didn't have patches to trade? What the fuck?
We don't want to know what Iron Butt is, dude. We don't do that here in Kansas. We're not sure what that is. Can you just leave our store?
It's Nebraska.
That's when you had your mustache too, so they're probably really freaked out.
No, that sold the deal. That sealed the deal.
We've seen you in the movies.
This is Nebraska. They knew all about your side business. But no, you have to sell it. You have to sell it. Explain what you're doing. Give them a real brief, basic description of where you're at. What involves it, and listen, people are there to help. They think it's cool. So I had no problem getting the signing and anything like that. But then I still had 120 miles to do. So Robbie's texting me. He's like, "Hey, dude," he's like, "We're going to a baseball game." He's like, "You need to throttle down and get here." I'm like, dude.
I was pushing him.
You were pushing a good job. Real safe.
I was making sure.
Real safe when you're 23 hours in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. By that time, I was like 25. And
called him pussy a couple times.
Oh, yeah. He's like, "Dude, where are you at, man?" He's like, "You got to get down here for the game."
Oh, that was after you were there yet, right?
No.
Oh, this was when he was like an hour out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you were at 23 hours in because you only had 24 hours to do it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think it was at like 25. Right. He starts really blowing up the phone. He's like, "Where you at? We're going to the game." I'm like, "Dude, I'm just trying to stay awake." I mean, I'm not going to knock the Shoei Neotech, but literally in that last hour, everything went wrong. I lost a glove. My visor somehow flew off, so I'm going down the road.
I remember
I'm
that
half
visor,
asleep. Dude.
No visor?
No, like one side popped out.
I remember that.
Dude, I don't know how it happened. I'm going down the road and it pops out. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's while I was trying to pee in a bottle.
Oh yeah, and then I look at my phone and Rob's just blowing me up. He's like, "Where are you at? We're going to the game." I'm like, "Dude, I'm just trying to stay awake." I can't even believe that It was the longest 120 miles I have ever ridden.
But
it's worth it. I rolled in. I knew we were going to have the video camera in my face.
That'll be on the documentary film.
I'm like,
yeah, that'll be part of the documentary film.
Funny thing was, we were outside getting ready to go to the game, and I said to somebody, "Has anybody checked on Jonathan lately? Because we hadn't heard from you in an hour or whatever." And right then we heard a bike. No shit. Like the minute I finished saying that, we heard a bike, and here you came rolling in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jonathan.
So I roll in. These guys are all fresh. I mean, they're ready to get the baseball game on.
Just did our laundry.
Oh yeah, get their drink on.
We did.
I mean, they're all fired up and they're like, hey, how's it going? You know, how are you feeling? You know, Ryan's got the video camera in my face. He's like, hey, how are you feeling? I'm like, dude, what do you think? I don't even know.
You
where
look
I'm
like
at.
hell, I think is what I said.
I'm like, where's?
I'm pretty sure I said that on film. You look like shit.
I'm like, where's the hotel room? I'm like, how do I unclip these bags? I don't have rickrack.
You did have to show me your treat bag, though. You were coherent enough to show me your special treat bag.
That's what got me through, man.
Right.
That's what got me through.
Doggy treat bag around your waist.
Real quick on that. I had looked at
a guy with a mustache and a fanny pack, dude.
Oh yeah,
it's not a good look.
Oh, dude. I'm from Washington. I can just say I'm from Western Washington and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Oh yeah, you're from Western Washington. Oh yeah, that checks.
Seattle, right?
Oh yeah, you're good. I'm like, where's your man bun? I'm like, yeah, I don't have one of those. But funny enough, the real quick tangent to go back though, the reason behind the gummy bears is your blood sugar. So that I looked online, found something. Someone said, actually have something if you feel like you're getting low blood sugar. Give it a little kick because it can make a difference, man. If you're getting tired or anything like that. But yeah, no, the treat bag was crucial. Oh, that was key.
What did Miss Holen is on here?
Yeah, she retracted
a message. No, put it back on. Put it back on. We want to see it there, Miss Holen. That's Jonathan's better half. Oh God, dude. Anthony Peters.
Yeah, her excuse is I can't see what I'm typing. But yeah, I don't
whatever.
I don't buy that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Russell Roberts and Robbie and Ryan don't buy that either.
Okay, so we've got to tell them about using...
Oh, Russell Roberts says... Oh,
well, hang on.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I try to
You're
get
like my kids, dude.
I'm trying to get the patrons involved.
I am. So David Short says, tell them about using a GPS live plotting like Spotwalla, which I don't know what Spotwalla is. And then to follow that up, Russell says, yeah, IBA, Iron Butt Association, will also accept certain tracking devices as part of their documentation.
Yeah, so what they're talking about is... So
that's how I did mine, was GPS.
Glimpse?
You did do yours with your external Garmin?
Yep.
Because Robbie runs an external Garmin.
On my old bike.
You can record on it, basically. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you did?
No, you can go into mine's like a car GPS, basically. So it's external. So you can go into that and reset the mileage and everything like a trip odometer almost.
Oh.
And I use that as instead of my odometer because my bike was off by a couple miles an hour and I knew that. And I knew that this was on my Yamaha that I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was 10 years ago before I had a Harley. And I reset the trip odometer on the GPS unit and that's what tracked my ride.
But how did you get that off there? How did you extract that to give to them?
You don't have to. Your witness will write down your odometer.
Oh, and you're just using your GPS
that's
odometer.
what your witness is confirming, that you're at that location with this mileage.
Gotcha.
So my first one documented that my GPS was at 0 at this time and date at this location.
Gotcha.
And a lot of times what they recommend, we haven't touched on it, but I want to add, and they say it on the Iron Butt website, you want to factor in a buffer. So when I factored in my 1500, I actually factored in 1550, just based on whatever method they use to verify the location and distance. They recommend you go above and beyond to make sure you hit that time for that distance. So what I did is, I don't know if you heard about it. It's free, and I know one of the patrons was asking about it. Tim Brown was asking the chat, is there such thing as a free tracking device? What I used, and I used it mainly to allow the guys in the club to know where I was at, just for safety reasons. I used Glimpse.
Oh, we use that a lot in the club.
Yeah. And what you can do is you can actually record a ride. So I recorded a ride, and
you can do that on new Harley Ride Planner app too now.
Yeah, well, I don't.
The HD. But anyways, yeah, go ahead.
Either way.
There's a video on that.
I have a video on that. Apparently you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Lawdog.com/Harley Ride Planner.
That's true.
What Robbie said. Anyways, to be the outlier, I use Glimpse and I actually outported it to Evernote. It's basically a note-taking app, and you can save that. Now, the only thing...
That's our number one used app here at Law Abiding Biker Media.
So probably
Matt and everybody, yeah.
I guess to answer your question...
So you can export it, huh? From
Glimpse.
You
can save it.
Did you have Glimpse going in the background the whole time? You just had it plugged in, yeah, right? You have to.
I send my wife...
that was, funny enough, the second thing that I should have done differently.
I send my wife a Glimpse every morning when we're on a trip.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, but you can specify when it expires, right?
Yeah,
Stuff
and
like
I'd
that,
set it for 12 hours, so it's all day,
Right.
and then she can just watch and see our progress.
See, I have Find My Friends, which is an Apple. It's stock
Right.
on the Apple, and same thing, and she can look in anytime she wants. But go ahead.
So if we talk about lessons learned, the first lesson.
Well, I asked that question about 30 minutes ago.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and he said I didn't really learn any lessons.
I was trying to take a card out of Rob's book. You just fly by the seat of my pants. Just go for it. The hell with it. If I make it, I make it.
We're another whiskey deep, so we're going to open up to the deep feelings now.
We're getting the true feeling. No, if you're going to have a phone charger, take 2 cables.
Yeah,
mine shorted out.
Yeah,
mine shorted out, and so actually, I think I was in Big Springs. And my battery died.
What is that?
I don't know.
What state is that in?
I don't know.
But fucked Egypt, dude.
I was in Big Springs. I was the only person there.
Big Springs. Dude,
population of 2. Me and another guy. Me and another guy.
Me and the subway guy.
Population just rose by 50% when I showed up.
Dude, there was nothing there. There was nothing there. Well, funny enough, I can file type not supported. Go Android. No, so take 2 cables.
We're not even going to go there.
Take,
all right, go ahead.
Take 2 cables. My cable shorted out, and so it was constantly adjusting. And so I actually had to turn my phone off to get it to charge up, and so I lost that glimpse. So
you're right, and once you lose that, now you can't do the whole trip.
I mean, it's going to show a gap, and I mean, you're still going to have the timestamp of when you restart it, but you're not going to have as solid of a proof. I think that's why they.
Yeah.
I think that's why they recommend Spotwalla.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on the website here.
I don't know what that is.
The power of Spotwalla. Spotwalla is a secure personal. We're not associated with them, by the way, guys. It just got brought up in live chat, but it's a secure personal location manager that supports a wide range of satellite and cell-based tracking technology. Spotwalla puts you in control of your personal private location data, so you have complete control of your degree of exposure, a whole bunch of things. Spotwalla does not charge for its services, but we do accept donations. There you go, guys, to help fund the site's ongoing infrastructure costs. They have a web API. Family and friends who use Spotwalla. You can easily keep track of each other. So it's like
go down. Like us on Facebook, and Mark Arnold likes it already.
Ooh, look at that.
So Mike.
Hey, that's a good eye, guys.
Mike, you said Mike.
Mark Arnold.
Mark Arnold travels a shitload on his bike.
I'm going to have to save this. Hang on a second. So Spotwalla, I'm going to put this in the show notes so I make sure and put it.
It's also linked
the final show notes
on Iron Butt's website.
Oh, it is. Okay.
They don't. Like you said, they don't work with Spotwalla, but they recommend
it's a free service.
Yeah, exactly.
For donation.
They recommend it as a good way to track your ride. I had thought Glimpse was going to work well, and it would have if I would have had another charging cable.
Yep.
But
the new HD app, Ride Planner does it. Rever does it. There's just a ton. There's a plethora of apps out there that will do it.
Basically, just plan for your contingencies. Understand there's going to be things that come up that, I lost ABS 900 miles into it. It's the only 2 things to get back to the
not a big deal, though. I don't think you were doing much braking.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't like
FYI.
Rob. I wasn't like Rob riding my brakes. I didn't have time for that. But riding at night, I know some of the patrons were asking about that.
Yeah, please.
I know there was some discussion about, some people saying, riding with a full moon. I think Russ was talking about that. My strategy, and I'm sure there's pros and cons to it. I got in behind an 18-wheeler. I was going through Wyoming. It was pitch black. There were basically no other cars on the highway. And I figured, I'm going to follow at a respectable distance. And if you want to hear a good podcast on semis, go back in the history. I don't know what the episode number is, but great episode with Russ Roberts, truck driver, patron, just all around great guy, responsible for getting some of the video camera up in here in the lab studio. Great guy, great information, but follow at a respectable distance. But I figured, listen, the only way wildlife can hit me is if it gets in between me and the 18-wheeler.
Russell Roberts will take it out with his 18-wheeler for you first.
Exactly. Clear the way.
Yeah, he'll do it for you, especially another fellow patron.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
So that was my strategy through Wyoming. In Nebraska, through the rain, I was lucky enough to get in behind. It was kind of like a, neon blue Jeep. And the honest reason of it, and you can say I was stupid or what, probably
stupid.
Yeah, I was.
I don't know, actually.
No, honestly, I probably was.
Saying it.
I was far enough into it. I think it was like 1,100 miles into it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to finish. I've gone far enough. But for lane placement, get in behind a car that you can see. And again, give yourself enough distance, but use that. You use the headlights, use the brake lights to track where you're at.
Right.
And have them clear the hydroplane. Watch that car in front of you. See if they hit a huge puddle. Use that to your advantage. If you see their brake lights go up, someone's coming to a stop. Use everything around you to make yourself that much more safer. You got to leverage those things. So
I agree. We love our patron members. Of course, we want to get to know you better. We want you in the private Facebook group. We want you in the private chat.
But we'll never balk at a
flat donation.
Nice, dude. Robbie's a pro now, dude. Wesley McAllister of Fernie, BC.
Where we have ridden through.
We did ride through Fernie. Michael Beard of Alexandria, Virginia, and Kip Kyler of Olympia, Washington. That's right. He goes, here's my payment. He says, for podcast episodes 101 through 120, I will catch up to you soon. Also, thanks to BD Kane for placing a Vance and Hine order for me. Keep it up, guys.
And what he's talking about is Big Daddy Kane and Grunt
over at the Lawdog Mega Store.
Running that shop down in the Tri-Cities. They are answering your personal phone calls, emails, you name it.
And it sounds like Jonathan, which is coming on board with us to help with some of those emails and stuff as we grow here.
That's alleged. We'll see how that turns out. I don't know if I'm going to make the cut.
I've already given him the green light.
The fact of the matter is you're dealing with people.
They didn't tell him that yet.
Well, yeah, I already gave him the green light to hire you.
Well, yeah, we got to wait for that business license and all that.
Oh, you got to get your contractor's license and all that. Yeah, we're working on it. Jonathan might be a new part of the team.
Let me know if you need help with that.
Oh yeah, we're above reproach here. We do everything above board. There's no sketchy things here.
No, just sketchy whiskey. Sketchy whiskey, but
or sketchy beer.
Sketchy beer. All right. Has his wife made any comments that we want to read? She needs to. We should have got her liquored up before she started.
She has politely declined most comments. She actually retracted one. I'm not sure what that means, but
God, dude, it's not every day we have a wife on here, dude.
Yeah, that probably was whether I was.
Holen says "goat!" exclamation point. That's right. All right, so let's wind this thing down. It's been a great episode, and I've learned a whole bunch about iron butt safety. We've talked about it a little bit. And I will tell you guys, just, if you're going to do this stuff, man, it's fun. And, we like flexing our muscles and saying we've done this and done that. What do you guys, besides the satisfaction? Now, let's talk about this. Finish there. Be safe, guys. If you're not up for it, don't do it. You can die. There have been people that die. I'm surprised, honestly, the iron, because you know how society is. I'm not saying it should happen, but I'm surprised that the Iron Butt Association hasn't got sued for having these type of rides. And like your ride, Jonathan, they said they won't even post a certain criteria.
Jonathan, your family's so proud of you. Your parents are even watching.
Nice. Oh, wow. You had to mention Rob. Look at Robbie. Just
shout out.
This is great.
Shout out to the folks from the west side of the state.
Can you hold up to your family the bottle that you're drinking?
Yeah. here's to you guys. See the light. Hey, retire in Eastern Washington, because that's where it's at.
Jonathan, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm impressed your parents knew how to log in, because my mom would have no idea.
I may or may not have sent them the link.
Right, you may have assisted.
How'd you send it to them?
Yes. Group me.
Okay, because my mom doesn't even text. Oh yeah, she doesn't have. She has a flip phone, dude.
I brought my mom up to the time. She's doing pretty good with the iPhone. I got her an Apple computer too, dude. She's doing pretty good for almost 70.
So, yeah, my mom's right about there. I think I'm gonna put my mom on my plan so I can get her a phone that texts.
That's what I did. I put her on my plan. My mom, after my dad died,
save money on his bill.
My mother-in-law's on my plan, so I might as well throw my mom on it.
Heck yeah, dude. Get her an iPhone. Be good to go. That's awesome, dude, that the fam's in there. I haven't met the rest of the fam. All right. So, safety, guys. Just really, I know we're having fun here in Iron Butt. We talk about people have died. And again, I'm surprised Iron Butt because of that.
Hi, Miss Lezak. Chris's wife listens to all episodes live with him.
Nice. That's badass, dude. That is badass. All right. So when you get done with this, talk about it, submitting, which Jonathan hasn't done yet. Is there a time frame, and where do you submit it? Give me some of this as we wrap it up here.
Like I said, mine was 9 or 10 years ago, but what I did, I had my starting form, my ending form, and then I took just blank sheets of paper and taped all my receipts on them in sequential order so that they could track it throughout the ride. And then you put that in a big manila envelope and you send it off. And then
snail mail, sweet.
Well, at that time it might have changed.
Or you live in the new age
Oh,
and you have a
geez.
thing called
This was 9 years ago.
Yeah, well, it is, Rob.
Oh my God, dude! Look at him.
You have a smartphone or, heaven forbid, a scanner, and you can actually submit it electronically.
Nice.
10
But,
years
you know,
ago,
it
that
depends.
wasn't standard at your house.
It was a
So,
standard
like-
issue scanner.
Yeah, I mean, so like for mine, a lot of I have the receipts, but I also have the pictures I've taken with my odometer reading with the receipt that I've held next to it. So for those, I'm going to submit electronically. You download it, basically compile electronic package, and then email that to them and submit it. Going back to the front of the show, like I said, if you're a premium member of the Iron Butt Association, they're going to process it in a matter of weeks. If you're not, it's probably going to take a couple months. And you have to think, I was talking to Ryan, before we started the show, this is the fees are incredibly reasonable. I think for what they call it, the full Monty, which comes with certification, patch, pin, a couple other things. I mean, at most, it's like $56.
Okay, yeah, we didn't talk about fees.
not bad.
For the certification, I think it's, $32.
And that's to pay employees, right?
Exactly.
To figure all this shit
they have
out,
to,
right?
I mean, they have to go back. They have to look at your starting route. They use their own atlas. And I don't know if that's electronic or manual, but they look at and they chart out your route to look at the distance and time. There's a lot that goes into it. So, I mean, it's incredibly reasonable.
I'm laughing that your wife said, I'm still shaking my head that you put Rob and Jonathan together for a live show.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
That's what your wife said.
Ryan's
dude.
business model's a little bit lacking.
My business model, I don't even have a business model. It's horrible. We just do, which is what keeps it interesting. We just do whatever.
It was a brilliant idea.
Kind of like my Iron Butt ride. It's just by the seat of our
Just
pants.
by the seat of our pants, dude.
Yeah.
Straight up makes for good entertainment. Entertainment.
We're farming now. That's a quote from Robbie.
We're farming now.
Oh yeah, you just rig stuff you rig it together and you make it happen. It's part of the fun.
Nice. So you get a patch, you get a pin. What about these names on this website? Is there like an infinite list of names?
Yeah, I mean they track it. They track it. Who's done what certification they've ridden. We talked about why you do this. A lot of it is similar to the Patreon community. Mm-hmm. There's a huge community of Iron Butt Association riders. Like I said, if you need a witness, look up your location, go on their website. You can find someone that's going to come out, meet you, sign off your ending verification, sign off on your starting location. It's a whole community of riders. And I think that's, we've talked about that. We talk about the biker revolution.
It is a biker revolution,
bikers getting together, the 99%, having fun, being safe. And that's the benefit. I found out about the nutritional plan. I found that out from, other riders that had been through it. They said, hey, pack some gummy bears. If you feel that blood sugar dropping, and I did.
Good stuff.
I did. It's, again, like I said, it's just a good group of riders. I think that's why people do it. And like I said, focus on being safe. Don't go out there and just try to do it on your own like I did. And, have fun with it.
You got to follow your paperwork still.
Yeah, I need to get off my butt, dude.
Get on that because I tried to search for your name, dude. It's not even on here.
Well, yeah.
I was going to post it, dude.
Maybe I went so fast they didn't put it on the website.
Right. Maybe not. Maybe not, dude. All right. Awesome. Let's completely wrap it up with any final thoughts on the Iron Butt that you think would be relevant that riders need to know.
Funny enough, we were talking in our group in Sworn Few. And, some people mentioned, hey, I'm interested in doing it. Who's in? I'm in again. I'm down to do it. There's so many cool rides. I think you can, even if you don't go out for the certification, check out their website, go to the certification list, look at the big list. When we went on the website, if you click on certifications, it's going to come up with the 7 to 10 most popular rides that they have. Down at the bottom of the page, there's going to be a link that says the full list or big list. Click on that. There's lists for countries. I know that we joke that, we're almost international. And I mean, we have listeners from Israel.
Scroll down to it.
Scroll down here.
Shout out to David Schwartz. Shout out to all these guys that have been talking. One other thing I wanted to mention, someone had a great point.
Right here, Rob?
I don't know. You tell me.
No.
Where's the thing you're talking about?
Go to the top, certifications. Hit that.
All right.
Yeah, right there. Now scroll down to the bottom. The big list.
As far as
It's the hot link.
the big
Yes,
list.
right there.
It's a hot link.
Straight up felt hot when I hit it.
Yeah, I figured the high-tech redneck would know
too.
about that.
I do. I hit it right away when you said hot link. I knew what to look for.
Yeah, HTML and shit.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
shit.
back to the show. So I mean, you look at it. I mean,
Back
you
to the
have
show.
IBA fit.
Hey, you're way too professional for this shit, dude. This will be your last
don't
podcast
worry
to
about
keep
it.
this up.
Oh no, listen. This is the first show. I got to make a good showing. Stick around here. I mean, listen. They have South Africa, Ukraine, Russia, India, Sweden, Finland, Germany. I mean, you name it. Look it up. If you're not in one of those categories that they meet, you can plan out the ride that you have. I mean, there are hundreds of rides and certifications out there that the community has come up with.
Right.
And I'm sure you can propose to them and say, hey, listen, I'm in this country. I want to put something together. Reach out to Iron Butt, and I'm sure you can make it happen.
Hell yeah.
One other thing I just wanted to point it out, they brought up, I think it was Anthony.
In private chat?
Yeah, in the private chat had pointed up another thing, and I know I experienced it. I think Anthony Peters mentioned it, was just the notion of tunnel vision. When you get in that long stretch, and
like
I know
Rob right now with the empty coolers, he just got tunnel vision on the next cooler he's going to open.
I was challenged at the beginning of the podcast to drink 7 beers. I'm on my 7th one.
Was it Chris Lezak?
No, Chris wasn't there yet.
He's always challenging you. And
I know.
Chris, would you stop? Would you guys stop challenging Rob to drink? Stop.
I don't need
to challenge you.
Stop challenging me. I do not need encouragement.
But everybody challenges Rob to drink and he'll do it. Okay. So don't challenge him, please. Good God. All right. What are you doing?
what are we doing?
Well, what are you doing on your chat,
maybe it was Tim Brown.
Okay.
I think it was Tim Brown.
Anyway,
Tim Brown or
Mike,
Anthony Peters.
Mike.
Oh yeah, it was Tim Brown or
Attaboy. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back to professionalism.
Back to your Mike.
Hey, I was trying to get back in the scheme of things, but it was either Anthony Peters or Tim Brown mentioned tunnel vision. And, I went through that. That's why I pulled over at that rest stop, did some exercises, got the blood going.
I'd rub one out.
Well,
You'll fall asleep, dipshit.
No, you'll wake you up. You don't fall asleep when you're rubbing one out.
Do like a 2020-minute nap before you get going.
Well, yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
going to go ask your wife right now.
Have a cigar.
She'll be like, oh yeah, he'd be out.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be out.
The cigars when you get there.
Right.
Along with shots of Gentleman Jack and two
This is a family
beers.
show. I'm sorry, your family and I just said that.
It's okay.
We don't promote that. Any of that type of behavior.
Oh yeah, definitely not here.
Jonathan's mom and dad, we really apologize.
They're like right now, like, oh my God, what kind of show did he come on?
Oh, they've been warned.
They've been warned.
They know you guys are a bad influence.
Oh, good times, dude.
Especially Rob.
Correct.
I got a reputation to uphold.
Rob, just anything last, and we got to get out of here. We got to wind this thing down. But this has been a blast. Probably not something I'm going to do.
Why not, you big
No, but
puss?
here's the deal. Now, I appreciate Jonathan over here. Like, if I did do it, I'm a little bit like that. Like, I have to know. Like, I would be, and I'm just too busy right now it would stress me out to try to plan for it.
I think the thing is just, I just want to bring up, the first time I did it was the patron ride in Canada. And at the time, I didn't have any affiliation with Sworn Few. I mean, I had talked to Rob loosely, and I just wanted to be at that patron ride.
Did you iron butt up there?
I didn't iron butt. I didn't do anything.
Basically.
I didn't.
He didn't
yeah,
officially
I
do it,
could
but
have.
Overnight.
Looking back, I could have. But, I just wanted to be a part of the community.
Right.
At that time, I had met, it was actually funny enough, that was the first time I met Russell Roberts, was in Canada. I mean, he's been through Yakima and Prosser and Tri-Cities.
Is that how he met you?
Oh, yeah.
Snowman.
Snowman.
Oh, yeah, Snowman. We're talking Snowman.
Running you off
He
the
likes
road.
that. He likes snowman too.
Oh, yeah.
No, he does not.
Oh yeah, he does.
Well, we're talking, that's the reason, it's, we talk about the patron meetups. I mean, we got guys coming from, it's insane. It is insane. The people that are making these rides.
Yeah, they're iron butting it just to get there.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, if you're going to do these rides, and like Rob said, I didn't go out of my way to do this strictly for the iron butt. I wanted to hit that destination. I wanted to go to that ride. I wanted to ride.
Rider.
I wanted to ride.
Yeah. Jeff hears this. Fuck, he's gonna be all pissed off.
Yeah, Sarge. I wasn't stopping to take photos. No
Don't
photos.
worry, he stopped plenty of fucking times for both of us.
No,
Jesus, like Mr. Wong over there.
Yeah, no photos were taken. There was no Route 66 stops on my way out.
Dude, I thought I was gonna lose parts off my bike.
On your iron butt?
No, on that Route 66.
Oh, on that Route 66. Oh, my God.
My back. I'm like, we got to get off this thing. We rode on it for 4 miles. This is the shittiest road I've ever been on.
I got some good film of that, dude.
Oh. Thankfully, my neighbor is a chiropractor.
I think in like 15 years, that road's 100 years old.
Correct. Oh, yeah, I know.
And Jeff plotted it and takes us on it.
Right.
I'm like, fuck, dude, you can't survey it 100 years ago and then take us on it, dude.
Right, there's got to be better sections than that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad.
You know it's bad when you're riding your Harley like a dirt bike because you're standing on the floorboards.
You're dragging your feet on the ground.
I was doing because it was that bad. No, but I mean, like I said, it's not about getting a certificate. It's cool, but, like Rob said, it's the destination. If you're looking at meeting up with a group of folks, if you're looking at the patron ride that we're doing, summer 2019. Check it out. See where you're coming from. If you hit that mark, why not? Go for it.
Yeah, if you don't incorporate it into what you're already doing. Right. That's the funnest time.
And that's the thing,
good call.
Getting into it, it's like if you don't make the time, don't worry about it. There's always going to be another ride. You're better off to be safe and have that opportunity to have it a next time. There's always going to be another opportunity.
Yeah, ain't worth dying for. Right there, but have fun with it, guys. We appreciate you sticking around. We hope it was definitely informational. We hope it was entertaining. We hope it was
infotaining.
Nice. I brought it back. I revived it. That's right, guys.
Stupid.
I will tell you that we do appreciate all the patrons being in the, of course, the private chat and all that kind of stuff. It was a live event. We'd like to have you be part of that. I'll tell you this right now. If you're going to do an iron butt or you're going to ride anywhere, whether you're meeting us patron rides, you don't want to get stranded, bikeaholics.
Definitely need to check out Cruise Tools.
Do it.
The RT-H3 roll-up travel 2-pack for Harley-Davidson and American-made V-twin motorcycles. Why get stranded and have your bike towed over a small repair? This quality-made toolkit has everything you need for a roadside emergency repair. Tested and used by the law-abiding biker crew. Yep, it has our stamp of approval. Get it already. That's the Cruise Tool RT-H3 kit. We brought it right to the Law Abiding Biker store for you. lawabidingbiker.com/store. Nothing but 5-star reviews. And again, you're dealing with face-to-face people that you deal with on the Facebook page, patron page. Big Daddy Kane and Goat, who run the Law Abiding Biker store, have them in stock and ready to ship to you right now.
Nice.
And Fuente, he's a new associate at the Law Abiding Biker store.
Listen, funny enough, that Cruise Tool kit, I actually got that before you guys started carrying it.
Yeah, I remember you said something about that.
I can tell you that thing has come in handy.
Bet you had it on your iron butt, right?
I did. And funny enough, people knock Harleys for breaking down. It doesn't matter what bike you ride. This is not a Harley show. This is a show for bikers. We talk about the biker revolution, where the 99%. It doesn't matter. There's Cruise Tool kits for metric bikes too. Get out there, look at it.
Big Daddy Kane right now, he emailed me the other day. He's looking at
an
Indian toolkit to bring an Indian toolkit to the store for you guys. So, we appreciate it, guys, and thanks for being here. And we're gonna take it out, Jonathan. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure having you on the mic. You did a great job for your first live. Not only mic live, we just break people in now. We used to break you in slow, like just a recorded podcast. Now we're just like, go live. But you've seen enough.
I'd like to thank my wife and my family listening from Prosser, Washington, as well as the great instruction.
This isn't a sports interview. You can't.
Fuck. I'd also like to thank Ryan Erlacher and Rob Layman, LD. No, again, this is a great place to be. Encourage anyone that's listening after the fact that's not on the live patron meetup. Look at Patron. This is where we're at. It's a good group of riders, and you can save yourself hundreds of dollars.
7 down before the bell, boys. 7 down before the bell.
Jesus. You're ridiculous, dude. Well, you're drinking water, beer.
He's just rehydrating.
They said 7. I fucking did it.
Rob doesn't care about iron butt challenges. He just cares about the Coors challenge.
Yeah, not that there's anything such as called peer pressure.
Rob's the best for peer pressure.
I might have an 8th one with my cigar just for good measure.
Hey, Rob, I dare you. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, all right.
Now, what's the challenge?
I don't even know.
It's not an iron butt.
We're out of here.